Test taking in advanced placement is not an input-output activity. This means that you cannot approach a multiple choice question expecting to memorize the answer. You need to interpret the question and look for the best possible answer. The very first change you need to make is writing on the paper. I know that this will seem to take up a lot of time, but we know that you learn best by doing. The more you write, the more senses you are using. If you only do the work up in your head, you will tend to lose information. So, let's put pencil to paper and write as we are eliminating wrong answers. Let's take a look at a typical multiple choice question. We're going to look at question 21. There are about 4 steps you are going to do on the paper. First, cover the answers with your hands. This way, you won't be distracted by the answers that look good. Second, underline or circle the key words in the question. This is going to help you to interpret what the question is asking you to do. Third, predict the answer in the margins, to the right or to the left. Don't write out full sentences. Abbreviate and write single-word answers. Finally, you are going to eliminate the answers that don't work with the question. Try to narrow down the answers to 2. So let's give this a shot. Question 21. At the beginning of the Cold War, American foreign policy was based upon the assumption that. I would look at beginning of the Cold War, American foreign policy, and assumption. Now the reason why I want to do that is that gives me a time period to look at so that I don't get distracted by other possible time periods. It also tells me that I'm looking for what the belief was, not what the reality was about the Cold War. After that, I'm going to predict in the right or the left about what the answer would be. My predictions are going to be expansion of communism or domino theory. Notice I'm going to abbreviate the words. Now, I go to try and eliminate based on my predictions. A. The Soviet Union wanted to build spheres of influence. Well, that's true. They did want to do that, but that's not the assumption of the American foreign policy leaders, so I can eliminate that. B. The mistaken notion that Joseph Stalin wanted to expand communism. Well, this is what American foreign policy leaders believed, even though it wasn't really accurate. Joseph Stalin wanted spheres of influence. He didn't have the power to expand communism worldwide. So let's keep that one. But we still need to take a look at the rest of the answers just in case. C. The fear that we would never get the atomic bomb. Well, that's obviously false. We were the first ones to have the atomic bomb. D. A belief in freeing all people from fascist dictatorship. Well, we know that one's wrong because that's for World War II, not the Cold War. So notice we've been able to eliminate all the answers and narrow down the answer to B. B is the best answer that fits with this question. Great. So this is a specific way that we can approach most multiple choice questions. However, there is a type of question that tends to get students into trouble. This type of question is the accept question. You're looking for the false answer to history. Underline or circle the key terms in the question to know what you are being asked to find. Make sure you box the word accept. This will remind you under time pressure that you are looking for the wrong answer. Now, predict the answers in the margins. Now, you can't really predict a false answer, but you can put down what you should be looking for as being true. This will help you to pick out all the true answers and narrow it down to the false answer. Lastly, and this is the big difference step, put a T next to every answer that is true. Put an F next to the one answer that will be false. There can only be one answer, and there can only be one false answer. So this is going to glare out at you. It creates a clear visual pattern that will help you to find the wrong answer. Let's take a look at this. Question 22. The policy of containment included all of the following elements except. So I would circle or underline containment elements. I would box accept. Now I know the question is asking for me what is included in containment. Well, I know containment would be, and I'll predict this on the right or the left, encirclement, stopping communist expansion, Truman Doctrine. So now let's go to the answers. A, American economic aid to prevent a Great Depression in Europe. Well, we didn't predict this, but we should know that that's the Marshall Plan. So that's true. I'll put a T next to A. B, American use of the CIA to topple communist governments in Latin America. Again, we didn't predict this, but we know that this deals with Iran and Guatemala. This is true. I'll put a T next to B. C, encircling the Soviet Union with American military bases in Western Europe. This fits exactly with our prediction. I can put a T next to C. D, the use of atomic bombs as a strategic way to win wars against the Soviet Union. Well, there was an arms race, that's true, but we didn't actually use atomic bombs against the Soviet Union because we didn't want to get into a nuclear war. In fact, that's why we used containment. I can put an F next to D. Notice that this is really clear that there is only one false statement, and that's D. One final word. A lot of you are going to say that this takes way too much time. Good criticism. But think about this for a minute. What do you usually do when you take tests? My guess is that you would say that you read the sentence. Think about the answer, read the answers, and then eliminate the wrong ones. So what's the difference between the method here and your method? Well, there is a difference. You are doing all the work up in your head. So the only real difference is you're not using all of your senses. The more you write, the better you will do. Give the techniques a try. Remember, you don't have to use them on every question. And when you do use them on a question, you don't have to use every technique. But also remember, you have to practice these. You'll get better over time and you'll move a lot faster. And most importantly, this will help you to make better judgments.